Welcome to the Resistance broadcast, everybody. My name is John Hoey. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are beaming through the galaxy and back to Earth from Coruscant to California, Naboo to New York. We are in your ears and in your hearts. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a great show for you today. This is our Monday show. We get through a lot of news, and this week it's a lot of merch type stuff that have been coming out that we've been taking a look at, and maybe we'll try to connect some dots and have some fun with that. Obviously, it's nothing too spoilery because it is stuff that's going to be out in stores in the next couple of weeks, so don't worry about that. So doing it with me on the podcast, as always, James and Lacey. Guys, how are you? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Did you get a chance to take a look at this merch stuff that popped out there? And what do you think? What's going on?
I did get a chance to look at it. We can get into that in the Resistance report. But I'm excited. Knights of Ren, right? That's what we want to see, and they're showing up pretty prominently.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes.
Who's excited? I'm excited.
I am.
Lacey, how excited
Lacey
are
is.
you about the Knights of Ren?
Super excited.
Mm-hmm.
Not as excited as Kylo Ren being and stuff, but close second. Very close second.
Officially announced that I am an official Knights of Ren fanboy. I am on board. I'm usually
But
not
I was on
into
board before you, though.
Yeah, but it's different. It's just a different type of thing.
How's it different?
Because I officially announced it. And when you officially announce something,
I declare bankruptcy.
right? And now, like in Good Will Hunting, I named all of them, like Chucky, Marky, Donnie, Bobby, blah blah. You know, you go down the list, and now they're my boys. They're my boys.
Did
Like
you
have
just
your
use the
soft-
term boy?
You have your soft boy. Those are my.
That was
boys.
retired.
No, boys. BOYZ, not BOI. They're my boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys
You
in the
can't
hood.
claim to be like the fan of something when I've been the fan of something before you.
No, you can't just pretend you're the fan of everything so that no one else could be a fan of something.
That's not true. I don't
You're
do
like,
that.
I'm the Akbar fan. I'm the Kylo Ren fan. I'm the Knights of Ren fan. I'm the 3PO fan, the BB-8 fan. I'm the Chewie fan. No, I don't like Chewie. I want him to die. I'm the Ben Solo fan. I'm the Obi-Wan fan. He's the GOAT because I made that a thing.
Wow.
Luke Skywalker, he's my hero. Like, just, that's enough.
Wait, I was hoping you'd do at least one more, so I had 10 fingers.
Princess Leia is like so inspiring.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. All right, guys. So, yeah, we're going to talk some Knights of Ren.
I didn't get to answer what I did this weekend.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So my company had a sports party. So I dressed up as Bugs Bunny from Space Jam.
He was in that?
So did you just wear a Toon Squad jersey?
Yep. With bunny
Wow.
ears.
Bunny ears? Did you paint like the
okay.
whiskers?
No. I'm not going to mess
Did you
up
hold
my
a
makeup.
carrot? Did you hold a carrot?
No.
Did you say, what's up, Doc?
It's like ironically that I'm Bugs Bunny, not like
Were they?
what
color were the ears?
hardcore Bugs Bunny. What?
What color were the ears?
Gray.
Okay.
Oh, that works. Yeah. That checks out.
Watch
Darn.
Mean
Yeah.
Girls where she's like,
You're
I am
good,
a mouse.
Lacey. Duh.
All right,
Duh.
guys. Do you guys want to check out the poll results?
Sure, I
Yeah.
guess. Because I'm the biggest fan of the polls.
Yes. You can't be a fan of the polls. I'm the fan of the polls. All right, here we go. Do you like looking into and hearing potential story spoilers and leaks for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker? It's the last one, so I was like, is that going to change how people are going into finding things out? Do they want to know because they can't deal with the pressure, or do they not want to know because it's the last one and it's the final act and they want to be kind of surprised? So we gave you two simple answers. No, I want to be surprised, and yes, I dig the spoilers and leaks. And 71% of people out there said no, they want to be surprised with The Rise of Skywalker, which means 29% said yes, I want the spoilers and leaks. So I was surprised by this, especially because these polls are in the bubble of Star Wars fandom where we're constantly always looking for things and theorizing and peeking around corners and stuff. I didn't think it would be this swayed. Lacey and James, what do you think about the results here? I know how you guys are with this stuff. I know, Lacey, you're usually into spoilers, and James, you're not. But
what are you talking about? I voted with the 70%. I do not want to know anything. I like going in fresh.
In the past,
I don't want to know anything about anything.
Yeah, okay. You probably already know.
I don't know what's happening.
Because I knew John was going to be like, Lacey likes to spoil everything. Lacey likes to ruin the movie for everyone involved. Lacey's the worst human being. So then I was just like, nah, dog. I don't want to know anything.
So what do you think about the results?
I'm actually surprised because I feel like it would be more 50-50. Because people say they don't want to know anything. And then all I see on Twitter is like people screen capping things and talking about everything. Like as soon as someone says, oh, I saw this one guy in a cafe in LA say, hey man, Obi-Wan's going to be in episode 9. And then all of a sudden it's all over Reddit that someone's like, I heard from a source. And then everyone's talking about it. Mm-hmm. So it did surprise me that many people said they don't want to know. I get it, but I'm just asking if you guys were being really honest, because I don't know.
I think they are, and I'm not surprised by the result. The reason I would say I'm not surprised is because I think it has to do with like the wording of like spoilers and leaks. Like I guess leaks, like you maybe kind of get in there, but like I don't think anybody really wants someone to be like, oh, here's what happens. Like you'd be
that's
like, yes,
fair.
Tell me.
That's totally fair. Yeah.
And so I think like for the most part, like the type of stuff that comes out are like, oh, we get to see like a maybe was poster early, you know, or we
what's
get
Rey's
to hear
wearing,
like, like all the Lego stuff. Like, does it really give things away? Like, I don't know. Maybe if you're thinking about it and you're kind of putting stuff together, maybe, but it's still like a big question mark. I don't think anybody 29% of people actually would want to hear how it ends.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This kind of goes back to that Kevin Smith thing. Like, I think this question is, would you go into that room? 71% of people would say no. 29% of people would say, yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. And when you think about it, though, if you have 100 people lined up and 29 of them are walking into the room, that to me is still a lot.
That's true. Yeah.
When you phrase it that way, I don't want to know what happens.
I'm starting to get conflicting stories from you, Lacey.
Yeah.
Like, I like to know everything in the sense of like what the sets are and stuff, but like I don't want to be like not surprised when I go in the theater.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Some of the comments from people were like, I like to know so that I can relax when I watch the movie.
Oh, I get such anxiety.
And then they're like, so I can take in how it went down. And that blows my mind because I want to organically find out that Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. Like I had that movie spoiled for me, and that movie stunk watching it, knowing that whole movie was weighted on that. And I'm not saying this movie's going to have some giant twist that it's going to be like, and here's the killer at the end of the thing. But there's probably going to be a lot of fan service surprise cameos and stuff that I'm not going to want to know ahead of time, that sort of thing. I want to be there and be awed and surprised and go for the ride, you know?
Do we have to do something where it's like, you know, a few weeks before we just like shut it off or something?
Well, we skirted around it a bit. We kept podcasting before TLJ, right?
Yeah.
And we did the challenge.
For instance, there's some stuff with Solo. Like, I don't know.
Solo I didn't care as much about because it's predate stuff. So, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why the prequels probably weren't that as big of a deal either. Because it's like, wait, Anakin becomes Darth Vader? Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
It's like
what was the best comment?
The best comment was by one of our patrons.
Oh.
General Neel Shah at Neel Shah. So, Neil, good job. You got the most likes. So you got the best comment on the podcast, which was, I get why people enjoy spoilers, but for me, getting to enjoy the surprises the movie throws at us during the first viewing makes the first viewing extra special and unique. So there you go. That's pretty much what people who don't like spoilers vibe, and he just laid it out there and got himself the best comment. So great job, Neel. Thank you as always for your support as well. And keep those comments coming, guys, because one day you can be on the podcast next week. Especially if Evan Harris doesn't comment, because usually he brings down the house. But before we go into the Resistance Report, guys, we have one other thing we need to announce. If you remember, around this time last year, a little movie called Solo: A Star Wars Story.
You did the joke.
What?
The joke where you're like, a little movie, an indie movie.
Oh, yeah. I know you hate that. Yeah. It is a little movie. It if you think about it. Solo Star Wars Story came out on Blu-ray this week, 1 year ago, which means we launched Make Solo 2 Happen for the first time. And in honor of that, we are doing a new giveaway contest called the Make Solo 2 Happen giveaway contest. And what we are giving away is... Lacey, what are we giving away?
Oh, you're going to me? I wish I had like a... Well, John...
Bing, bing, bing,
they could win
bing.
a official Joonas Suotamo
autograph. And
some dice to hang from your cockpit of your Millennium Falcon. Official AMC Solo: A Star Wars Story poster.
Yes.
That was part of the fan giveaway. Oh no. Some
Make Solo Happen t-shirt.
a Make Solo Happen t-shirt.
No, they already made
Make
Solo Happen.
Make Solo
Make
Happen
Solo.
t-shirt.
Make Solo 2 Happen.
2 happen, Lacey. I don't know if you saw the first one.
Yeah. The first one happened.
And finally, a Star Wars Story Blu-ray.
Are
Right?
we doing a Blu-ray?
No.
Are
Oh, no,
We
I
are
read
now.
the thing. Nope.
Oh, now we are. James just added it to the mix. So you're getting a free Blu-ray as well.
And stickers.
So yeah, to run it down,
Yeah, stickers
you
too.
are getting a Joonas Suotamo autographed signed picture of Chewbacca. You're getting a Make Solo 2 Happen t-shirt, which are flying off the shelves. So you're going to get yours as well. You're going to get the poster, the AMC exclusive Never Telling the Odds poster from Solo. You're going to get the package of Solo's dice to hang from your rearview mirror, some stickers, and as James just added to the mix, a
For some
Blu-ray
reason.
copy of Solo: A Star Wars Story. And how
Why
you
not?
can win that is found on our Twitter account, because we haven't figured that out yet. But we are going to post something there. You're probably going to do a little retweet action, a little comment action, and something of that nature. But go check it out after you listen to the show, watch the show. Don't worry, you're going to have plenty of time to enter. It's not one of those things where if you enter first, you have a better chance. Just enjoy the show, because we're about to get into it right here. So, but enter, spread the word, and as always, keep spreading hashtag Make Solo 2 Happen, because that's what we like to do around here. So thank you for all your support, for entering, and good luck. Never tell you the odds. All right, James, now it is time to get into the news, Resistance Report style.
It's the Resistance.
So it looks like the first thing on the Resistance Report this week is an unknown Blu-ray purchase. Well, who approved this? I'm just... Oh, yeah, sorry. Different report. News report
Gotta get the
this week. Yeah. News report this week is exclusive to Star Wars Newsnet.
Wow.
Yeah. We got a story coming in. That we got pictures. We just got some pictures, you know what I mean? They floated our way. We talked it out. We decided to publish the pictures, put them up. One was on our Twitter and another later came in an article. But yeah, we got some images, one mostly revolving around some of the retail items that could be potentially coming out for the new movie, The Rise of Skywalker. So one of these pictures was something that we've seen before in a leaked image, although they made one significant change this time, without it being like a poster or just a photo. It was actually looked like it was imprinted on, what did you say, John, a pillowcase?
It looked like a pillow.
It was like a throw pillow. Yeah.
Throw pillow or t-shirt or some sort of
They're going to be popping
material.
on t-shirts too. Yep.
It looked like a pillow because the top of it looked like it was puffing out.
I can
Yep,
confirm
and then-
it was a pillow because we may have cropped the image.
Oh, all right, pillow. And then the other item was a puzzle cover that was a new image that we've not seen, with an artistic rendering of a lot of the characters that are going to be in the movie, which was really cool for us. Having just talked about the Knights of Ren, it featured the Knights of Ren pretty heavily in the photo. So let's talk about this, John. This was Star Wars Newsnet exclusive. You apparently are holding things back like the edges of that photo. So let us know what's up.
So it just it's so weird that it kind of happened on the same day. And I don't know if that means there was some kind of movement with retailers today, because from several different places we got just hit up with like, hey guys, I thought this would be interesting to share with you, sort of thing. And, some people like to do that, and we appreciate that. And we have certain ways that we're able to like vet things. Obviously the eye test, you look at things and you're like, oh, that looks familiar to this. And you compare it to a previous thing. Like you just said, James, the thing from this past spring, that image that came out. But then we have other ways to try to like vet things and say this looks legit or not. So the first one, like you said about that image that was on the pillow there, now if you people, like James said, saw earlier this past spring, this kind of leaked out there, and even Mark Hamill thought it was a fan-made thing because they saw the 3PO with the bowcast and they're like, that can't be real. Turns out it is, and the big difference being that they switched out Claude with Rose, and I don't know if that's like a fan reaction thing, because people have been saying like, where's Rose, and maybe they said, all right, let's duck out the new alien, and pop Rose in there. But either way, you have that, and then you also have the marketing material, which I'll explain right now. So the standees and all the setups in your retailers are going to be heavily focused on Rey and Kylo Ren, big cardboard things of them on kind of separate ends, both igniting lightsabers. Kylo Ren has his mask, and he's going to kind of be like doing the Force thing like he did in Force Awakens when he stopped the blaster bolt, and he's got his lightsaber in his other hand, but he's got his crackly little helmet and that sort of deal. And then also 3PO, D-O, BB-8, and R2-D2 are together in like an island thing in one image. So maybe eventually at some point those four get together. But it's going to have like murals that look like the mural from Celebration, which shows all episodic stuff. I don't think it's going to show like Rebels and that stuff like the mural did, but it's going to have that sort of thing. And then, like you said, James, the puzzle thing has the Knights of Ren showing how they hold their weapons, and a little different look than what we're used to seeing from stuff released previously. So that's pretty much the deal there. I think they're cool, and more is going to be coming out. But don't worry, this isn't really spoilery, because this stuff's going to be on shelves in a couple of weeks, most of it. And a lot of it's going to be stuff for holiday sales leading up to before the movie comes out. So whatever they're putting out, they want you to know what it is. It's not something that's going to blow the roof off. So it's safe to find out this sort of stuff, in my opinion.
So also there was the orange X-Wing, right?
Yeah, that wasn't via us. That was not sent to us.
Yeah,
that was floating around Reddit or something like that. But it's like Poe Dameron has a new X-Wing because Kylo blew up his other one. So it's like a new orange traffic cone looking X-Wing on that jungle planet is what it looks like.
Yeah. And I'm still trying to figure out the position of like why Black One is at Galaxy's Edge. And like, why not this one? If this is touted as Poe's X-Wing, it's kind of confusing.
Because isn't Galaxy's Edge prior? Isn't it like before Force Awakens? That's what Galaxy's Edge is?
No, it's after The Last Jedi.
Yeah, it's one of the most current things. Yeah,
and that's why people are so confused, because the Falcon's dish is still there, rectangular. So
I'm confused because Kylo Ren's walking around with that mask on.
That's another one,
and it's not his crackly mask. Yeah.
Yep. That's another one.
Yeah.
Weird.
So there's a couple weird things about it, but when I've been reading the books and stuff, like you have a certain position where you like have Vry Marati that comes there and establishes the place at Batuu, and then that's like later we're like she's going to bring in Hondo, and Chewbacca and Rey are going to be there at some point. So that's where it like starts to get all this like questions about like, is this movie going to start on Batuu, or is Batuu going to be mentioned in the movie? Because it seems like it's this planet is the base, like is the next Dakar.
It makes sense because I mean, Harry Potter, you walk on basically the movie set when you go to the park. And we were saying about how that's so weird that they wouldn't do that in Disney parks because then you have no connection to this place.
Yes. So that becomes part of the argument of like, why would they do this? It's like, hold on, it will be the spot.
Right.
But then are they really going to like put Galaxy's Edge in the movie? I don't know. It's a big question. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the images. Lacey, tell me what you think about the exchange of Claude to Rose. Does that mean anything, or is this just...
I don't think it means anything. I think it's a marketing choice because people like Rose and people like diversity. So they probably were like, let's throw in more diverse people, and people don't know who Claude is and they know who Rose is. So let's put her in there. And I also think if you think about it from a marketing perspective, it doesn't surprise me that they're doing all the movies on like a mural style like they did for Celebration, because if you think about the costs of switching out displays all the time and how long the display has been Last Jedi, if you're looking as a toy company, you're like, well, if we put this up, then it could stay up for however long because it has all these different characters on it and it doesn't look outdated. So it just kind of makes sense that you'd put all these different characters, because right now it's just Last Jedi and you're like, okay, Last Jedi came out like forever ago. Like it just looks outdated.
Yeah.
What else to add about all this stuff? I mean, I don't know.
I want that toy, that Poe X-Wing.
It looks all right to me. It looks like
I need an X-Wing.
It looks
I don't
like
have
Black
an X-Wing.
One inverted.
Yeah, I just don't have one in my collection, so I need one.
You know, it's funny. I say that, and I'm actually looking at the image inverted right now.
Are you?
I downloaded a plugin that turns everything into dark mode, and for whatever reason, it's not working on that photo, and it's inverting that photo. So I am actually looking at what looks to be Black One, but I know I've seen the image earlier.
I think the more artistic, cartoony style is really cool. Who's the artist?
Yeah.
So that is a puzzle that came via... it was made in a Polish puzzle factory, so I don't know where the art came from or any of those details. But that's the cover of a I guess a jigsaw puzzle type of thing. But
I just
do
look
like
how
that too.
epic it looks, like with Rey's flowing stuff, and
I like that it's also like organic and not Photoshoppy. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like color forms where you're like, I'm gonna slap Chewie here, I'm gonna slap this here. It doesn't necessarily look like John Boyega, but you know that it's Finn, that sort of thing. Like if they made a cartoon, like a 1980s cartoon of this, it would look like this, sort of thing.
Right.
I kind of like that. But I don't know. I mean, I think all this stuff is kind of interesting, especially when I like toy and merch leaks. Not because I'm a big buyer of them, but I like playing the detective game. Like, okay, so Poe's X-Wing, this new X-Wing, is on that jungle planet. We know Leia was on that jungle planet. We've seen the Falcon there. Does that mean Poe's not going to go with them?
Well, we've seen Poe on the jungle planet.
I know, but it's kind of like now we've seen his X-Wing there, so is he not going to go with them on the Falcon at that moment? Like, there's I
the
like
clip
doing that.
Of him coming down the other ship in his flight suit.
Right. Yeah.
So you would have to assume, why is he wearing a flight suit?
Right. Unless like Kylo Ren does another drive-by and blows up his new X-Wing, and he's like, all right, that's enough. I'm taking the Falcon. Like
South Park with the Mongolians in the wall.
Yeah, they keep knocking down the wall. Yeah.
Do you know what's interesting about this image? The puzzle one is the two biggest heads on the art is Kylo Ren and C-3PO.
Yeah, right. And also, the whole R2 is still clearly vacant from, aside from the standee I was talking about, like these posters and these covers and stuff. Dude's going to have a big impact role, I'm telling you.
I think it's very obvious they're moving towards the sequel trilogy characters. Like, they've taken everybody off of it that you would know from the original trilogy.
Except
for C-3PO. He's the biggest head
and Chewie.
on this
Chewie's
thing.
always still in the mix, too.
I agree. Chewie's kind of a different thing. But I don't know, man. I don't get what the big push is on C-3PO in general when people have been asking and trying to figure out what's going on with R2. That's what John is thinking, and I think he might be right. I think Like, is there any chance that they like maybe change his colors or something weird and they don't want to reveal that?
R2? I don't think so.
I don't either. I'm
If
just trying to
JJ
figure
wants
out,
people to be satisfied, you don't do that to R2D2.
But I'm just saying, like, why can't R2 be on this poster?
I know.
And just be there? Like,
he may be
don't know,
he may
man.
go missing at some point for this movie and has to show up in the third act or something like that. You know?
I was surprised he was
see-
in that toy set with Dio and BB-8.
Yeah, that almost reminded me of those, like, you know, when you see like the Hot Wheels toys and they're like, this isn't canon. It's just like, this is Kylo Ren's hot rod. Like those toys kind of look like a little like kiddie to me.
Oh yeah,
it's like
of
when
course.
Star Wars used to
Of
be
course.
buff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They still make those. It's like I saw a toy. There's like a toy line with like Captain Phasma, and she has like this crazy like radar backpack jetpack thing and stuff. And I'm like, what is this?
Right,
This is not.
I don't know, man. And we've been saying this. I know, Lacey, you just said it. We've been beating this for a while on the podcast, and it's not called a culture here, but I think because a lot of people agree, JJ is saying these are my characters now. Like, I don't need to put Luke on the poster. I don't need to put Leia
Or
on the
Leia
poster.
or Han or anything. Yeah.
This is the crew here, and that's what also makes me think this is not the last we're seeing of this group.
Even Palpatine isn't on this stuff.
Well, I mean, at least he made it to the poster finally. Like
Yeah, the one poster.
Yeah.
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 I think we'll see him in the main. I'm gonna guess the main poster. We'll see him in it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too. I think like, you know, kind of how they did Force Awakens, like where they stuck like Star Killer, like just kind of like he's over there, you know,
Yeah.
It's just there.
and you're like, oh shoot, he's got a big head. That's
Yeah.
again going back to this, like that's usually how Star Wars is like who's got the biggest head, you know what I mean, on
Luke,
this thing.
Kylo, Snoke.
Yeah, and usually they're kind of like the focus of the story or whatever. That's why like you had like Kylo and Rey and Han were all like big on Force Awakens, you know.
And they are all in on Kylo Ren masking up. Like, aside from the clips of on-screen stuff of Adam Driver, there's nothing like promo-wise or marketing-wise with him without the mask.
They are pushing hard
Yeah.
that he is a bad guy. That he
Yeah.
is the bad guy.
Yeah.
So you think the official poster will have him with a mask on, whereas Last Jedi had him with the mask on?
Mask on.
He already has the mask on in the poster with Palpatine.
Well,
No, he means the
that's
theatrical
fair.
one that will come out
I
with
mean
the main
the real-
trailer. and
Oh, with the
tickets.
trailer. Okay.
Yeah, like the theatrical official.
Yes,
big
he's
poster.
gonna have a helmet on.
Yeah.
Because anybody that's not a Star Wars fan like we are is gonna go, oh, he's bad now, and that's what they want.
What? Oh, he's
bad
bad,
now?
now? Yeah, what is that?
Well, because like, okay, we're
'Cause,
not gonna
like-
get. We're not gonna get into
Yes,
this.
the average fan's gonna be like, "Oh, that guy turned bad."
Someone
Because
just
there's a
tweeted-
lot of questions. There's a
Someone
lot
just
of
tweeted
questions
a-
at the end of
whatever.
An
Last Jedi.
action figure box. No, a coloring book came out. They're like, my kid's new coloring book came out. And it says Kylo Ren, villain. It's just like it painted as clear as possible. The word villain is being used.
I'm
No,
not
it doesn't say-
arguing with that. I'm saying
it
a
doesn't
lot of
say-
questions were posed at the end of The Last Jedi that anybody that left was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then now it's very, very clear that he's the bad guy.
And Ryan Johnson's going to make his coloring book and it's going to say dual protagonist.
Yeah,
Ryan Johnson
It's like they
says, maybe?
Yeah. It's like, you know what, guys? I'm going to do another couple movies before I do my Star Wars movies. But they're still happening.
Okay, that
like
was a
children's
tangent and a
books.
half. I am
they're
sorry.
like C. C is for conflicted children. That's Kylo Ren.
No, I think this stuff's cool. I don't know what else to say about him. Check out the article, check
Yeah.
out the images, and just know that a lot more of this stuff's going to start trickling out.
Can I
We
say
could have
something
some
really
fun with
quick?
Yeah.
I'm also super pumped now because there were a couple months there that it was a little dicey where people were like, maybe it's not Kylo Ren. And that was like one of those things that we were like, maybe it's not. And they're so clearly like, no, this is Kylo. He's in this mask. It's him. Do you remember that?
we were just talking about this last week that people were saying
I was
because he
gonna
was
say, it's
holding
like
his
last
lightsaber
week.
with the left hand, remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, mother of...
But they clearly put it on like all the marketing that, yes, this is him.
And there's still people who are like, that's got to be Matt Smith. He's a lefty.
What would you do if the puzzle came out and it was just like all Star Wars characters and just normal Matt Smith in the background with like a slight dissolve?
It's fun. Yeah,
I was going to say,
why not?
I thought of a new Matt Smith theory, and I was like, did I bring this up on the show? But
wait
since
till
John brought
Thursday.
it up,
Thursday. Open
wait
dialogue.
till Thursday? No, it's not a real theory.
Oh.
All right, fake theory. Go ahead. Wow.
All right, fake theory. Matt Smith, young Palpatine, young Snoke.
Ooh. You know what?
Anyway,
Do you know what my Matt Smith theory is?
That's not a real
He's
theory.
Claude.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready? He's not in the movie.
Good luck, John.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.
So it must be a pretty slow couple weeks because this is the third week in a row that a comic book has made the cut on the Resistance Report, which is crazy to me. I wish we would talk more about the comics, but it rarely ever gets in here. However, if it has anything to do with the sequel trilogy, people go, what does it mean?
Right.
And so here we are.
Yes.
The Age of Resistance Rey comic was officially released, and we got to see what the heck happened in between The Force Awakens and before The Last Jedi. She's on her way to Ahch-To, and she goes on a little mission. Not to mention also, too, I'm sure one of you will say it, but the hug was in there. So, Lacey, start this one off. Did you actually read the comic, or were you just kind of looking through the previews? Like, a lot of people post pictures of these.
I didn't read the full comic, but I read the panels that were posted. So the scene with Leia is really cute, and then Leia hugging Chewie is cute. And then I loved, actually my favorite part was when she was flying the Millennium Falcon and something goes wrong. And she says, like, I don't know what's happening. And R2 says something super sassy. And she's like, well, obviously I thought of that. I don't need your attitude. And I was like, oh my God, it is so perfect that R2's just like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even know this girl. He's known her for maybe 20 minutes. And he's like, you're a dummy.
Droid splaining?
Yeah, droid splaining. Yes. That was really great. But it's heartbreaking to see those panels where she's all by herself, which just makes me so happy that she's found like her group of people with Finn and Poe and Leia and everybody. So I'm excited to see in the movie, after reading this comic, in the movie, where her head's at and like where she is with their relationships, because it's been a long time since this period in the timeline.
Yeah. I think it's going to be more fun. Like,
Me too.
Than people are thinking that it's going to be so dark. I think it's going to be a more like
Popcorn.
the lightest of. Yeah, it's going to be a fun movie, I think.
Yeah. With the Rey comic, I thought it was interesting because I for some reason thought they were going to wrap it up like as soon as she leaves with Chewie, and then it kind of just kept going, and I was like, oh, I'm like halfway through this thing because I read.
Oh,
it
she
digitally,
goes to
so I was
a
kind of-
weird planet, like a droid graveyard.
Yeah, it's a little mini short story, and like I don't know I don't want to like spoil it, I guess, but like it's so short. Like, what does it really do? I don't know. She's traveling through hyperspace, and then they run into a problem. They have to stop at the local planet, and they get parts. And it was kind of like a high price for the parts. As the story goes on, she kind of finds out that the whole thing was a trap, and the person was like set a trap so that every ship that comes through would get caught, and she ends up kind of like setting things right on that planet. But
She uses a Jedi mind trick.
yeah, which is interesting because that would be the second time she's ever used it, and she's like, oh, I know how to fix this guy, and she just like does it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
You would think that in Last Jedi, then she would be like, I've got this sorted out, and it would have like failed on Kylo Ren or something. That would have been an interesting thing. But and then she's like, well, it doesn't work all the time, so I can't always use that bag of tricks. But no, I like it when they kind of make more light of the fact that, you know, she's taken off and she's like, all right, just got to hold this for and we're there. All right.
Yeah.
Ahch-To, right?
Yeah.
And we've had this conversation as Star Wars fans, I'm sure us and everybody else, how fast is light speed? How long are you waiting around? I saw Matt Martin once said that it takes as long as you need it to take for story purposes.
He's so funny,
different things like that. So, yeah, I mean, I thought this was interesting. But again, like it's one of those things we talked about a while ago. Never really moves the needle. It always has to like wrap back up.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. You got this line here, and this one can go up, but it has to get back down there to like continue where we were. Yeah. What's my setup question?
Your setup question is: did you like the Rey comic more than the Snoke comic?
I did. Yeah.
There's a lot out there. There's Rose Tico and all the Age of Resistance, but we're talking about these two.
My only big problem with this one was that they lit Chewie on fire.
They definitely did. I forgot about that.
Yeah. That upsets. Like, stop trying to hurt Chewie. Just knock it off. Like, geez. No, I like that this comic is pretty much an amendment to the end of The Force Awakens. Like, people, like, everyone loved The Force Awakens, but back before The Last Jedi drama, the big gripe and the big argument and the big upheaval and drama in fandom was Leia didn't hug Chewie. I wish we can go back to that. Oh my God, much more easier times back then. So now this one, they're like, not only are we going to have them hug, we're going to have Leia talk about how long Chewie was hugging and that it's a Wookiee hug and that she doesn't want him to, you know, get wet or smell like a wet Wookiee hair. And like they really went big on the hug. And that, you know, I guess that's fine.
And then we'll light him on fire.
On fire. I also like how Rey referred to Luke as Skywalker to Leia. In other words, that made me think that she has just zero idea that they're connected. That's just General Organa. Rey doesn't realize that that's Luke's sister because she goes,
"Oh, that's cool."
We're going. So when we're on our way to find Skywalker, like she doesn't say Luke, she doesn't say like, you know what I mean? And
your
then
brother.
And then in TLJ, I think she connects the dots when they have their like heart to hearts and that sort of thing. But I thought that was kind of interesting.
Does she? I know she says Leia sent me, but does she ever talk about them being siblings?
No, I'm just kind of saying you kind of feel that she starts connecting the dots later when she's having the one-on-one with her on the Falcon and she's like, Luke left with peace and purpose and Leia's like, I know, and she's holding her hands and
Oh.
You kind of feel like she's either told or she figures it out by you know the end of the deal there. But
right.
The only thing that didn't push this over for me is that they lit Chewie on fire. It just bothers me. I'm sorry. Just stop it, please.
Actually, I think I like the Snoke one better.
You know why I don't like the Snoke one better is because I think everyone was trying to make me like the Snoke one, and I don't like being forced to like things. So I was like,
oh, maybe. I like the Snoke one better because I think Snoke is an interesting character that we got to see like him literally hit like with his hand, like Ben and stuff. And there were some cool things there. Like, would you have saved me? And he's like, Skywalker would have, you know what I mean? It's just like the kind of Snoke, like, oh, he's a bad guy, but is he really a bad guy? This kind of explores the like, no, he's really a bad guy. That guy sucks, you know?
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. Whereas like this thing with Rey, like I didn't learn anything about the character. I learned like things that happened.
No, sure.
But she didn't give me anything new. So I was like, ooh, juicy on the Snoke one. Whereas this one was just kind of like straightforward.
Yeah.
Lacey, did you have a preference? Just because we both gave ours.
I think that the Rey one was more enjoyable to read. Like it left me being like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
And then the Snoke one, I was like, this guy kind of sucks. And this is terrible because he's abusing someone. And then, oh my gosh, Kylo sees Luke and it's the same scene basically from Last Jedi and he's in so much pain. Like, this isn't fun.
I think she's going to like the next one better.
Oh, word?
Yeah, you know what's funny? I didn't actually, I missed this in the show notes. I'm leafing through it right now. This is the Age of Resistance Kylo Ren. This isn't the like big Kylo Ren
Knights of Ren
story.
one, no.
Age of Resistance Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Age of Resistance Kylo Ren.
Preview.
Yeah, this is cool. This definitely looks neat. Ooh, live reaction right now.
Yeah.
There's a panel with him standing with like ATs and all this stuff behind him, and he's standing on there, and there's all the stormtroopers, and then the panel right below is like Vader in the different legacy. It's like so sweet. That's cool. Yeah, this is interesting. So, Lacey, John, what are your thoughts on the Age of Resistance Kylo Ren preview that we got?
He's shirtless again.
Is he?
They taking his clothes off.
Oh, yeah, at the beginning.
Yeah, he's doing his force meditating sort of thing.
But he's definitely more jacked than his jackedness changes over the course of comics. Mm-hmm. Like this one, he looks very like 90s Power of the Force jacked.
James, is it? Yeah, without a doubt. Like just puffed up. James, is this is it Benathi or Benathi? Do we know if there's an official pronunciation of this planet?
I can look it up.
Oh, I mean, pronunciation, schmunciation, but is this the same planet where Vader was like, I only see fear and dead men? Is that place?
Oh, I don't know.
Because there's a lot of corpses and skulls around here, and it reminded me of that.
Yeah.
And this is
I
just
loved
kind
the old trooper.
Yeah, yes, me too. This to me is just one of those things where they're trying to hammer home Kylo Ren's obsession with Vader and trying to not only finish what he started, but also point out that he couldn't get the job done, but I will, sort of thing. Hammering home his quest and being total dark side here. Like it didn't dabble like the way the Hux one did with, his vulnerabilities, or the Snoke one. This one was just kind of like, I'm Kylo Ren and I'm gonna get stuff done because I can. Like, so I found that interesting. It was more like direct.
Did you start reading the comics more? Or are you just reading the Age of comics?
I read Star Wars Newsnet spoiler reviews. And
okay. So you didn't actually... You haven't been keeping up with these, then?
Do I buy comics? Is that what you're saying? No.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about the... I'll finish what you started.
I'm selective with them, yeah. Sorry.
I'll finish what you started stuff is that for a while now, since Palpatine has come back, a lot of people have been saying like, oh, that must mean that Kylo Ren or Ben Solo is finishing what Luke started, which is killing.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Palpatine. Now that's been eliminated. They've eliminated that idea because they're like, no, he's literally saying he's on the same planet to kill people.
Yeah, I mean, why would he like...
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I've seen those people, I've seen those theories flying around.
If he were to say that, then that would mean that he was an undercover agent for the Resistance the whole time. And
some people think that.
That would be the worst plot twist.
Because then Han Solo's death means nothing.
In cinematic history. Yeah, it makes zero sense. I'm sorry. I hate doing that because, I'm all about just come up with your theories. But that would be a critical hit to Star Wars in terms of its like respectability and storytelling. I was just kidding. I'm a good guy the whole time. Killed my dad. But, you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, folks. So I don't know. James, you are really digging deep here. What's going on, man?
Well, because you said the name of this planet and I couldn't find it. I see it now. What do I need to know about the Benathi? I don't think that's the name of the planet.
Oh, it's not? What is it, a village?
Yeah. No, it might be a people.
Are you sure it's not Bethany?
No, it's Benathi.
Benathi. So then I was on Wikipedia, and I looked it up, and it's not mentioned as a planet under locations. So that's what made me go back. It's not a character, organization and title, sentient species, Benathi. What do I need to know about the Benathi? And this is the first time they've ever made an appearance.
I just liked the end of...
Not a planet.
The end of the panels where the guy's like, oh, well, what do they respond to? He's like, oh, like size and power or something like that. And he's like, great, I have both of those things.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right, Kylo.
This is him trying to flex his dark side power and maybe overcompensate.
Totally flexing.
For his
He does that a lot. He did that in the Snoke comic too. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I was planning on bringing my other apprentices here. He's like, you don't need any other apprentices.
Yeah.
Adam Driver, I'm the last one.
Right. It's like when someone asks you for directions or should we stop and get directions? You're like, no, I'll figure it out. We'll find it. Like, We're not stopping. We're not pulling over. Like, I will figure this out. Yeah. But
I don't even think it's that. I think it's more than that. I think he's fully being arrogant. And he's being like,
yeah, sure.
Like, yeah, I'm the best.
Yes, but we know
he's trying to be like Vader. That's the thing. Yeah. Vader was like, Vader would say how it's going to go down, and it went down like that.
Yeah.
Like every single time. Like, he was nobody ever got the best of him.
We know he's more vulnerable than that on the, like in his like bedroom when he's by himself. He's like, remind me again how to be dark side. Please tell me. And then when he comes out here,
are you saying he's complicated?
Yes. I mean, who isn't saying he's complicated?
Okay, cool.
Why are you acting like I don't know that he's a complicated character? Like,
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Jeez, people are going to be like, you don't understand him.
I'm just kidding.
Good grief.
All right. Can we, let's do the Scoundrels rundown. Are we comicked out?
Yeah,
I am comicked out.
All right, let's Scoundrels run down this show.
Okay.
The news.
3, 2, 1, punch it! All right, guys. There is a rumor going around that there will be a spin-off to Solo: A Star Wars Story, not a follow-up. So we'll touch more on that a little bit later. But this spin-off series would be about Maul and about Crimson Dawn. So that's going around from SW Unity or something like that. It's a new site that they're claiming that this is they heard a rumor, and they
from a guy in Starbucks.
They said we heard a rumor, and they're reporting that. So it's possible. I don't know too much about it. I don't know that I buy it, but I mean, I'd be down if it happened. We were talking last week about Ray Park getting in shape and wanting to go back to Dathomir and shaving its head and all that stuff. So who knows? But that's out there. I'm sure you already heard about it. The rumor, latest hot zany Disney Plus rumor out there is that there's a Maul series via Crimson Dawn coming down the pike. Next up, we have Star Wars Resistance wins the Saturn Award for Best Animated Series. So congratulations to Christopher Sean, Steven Stanton, and the rest of the cast, crew, Dave Filoni, and all those people for doing such a great job. Good luck with season 2, and we'll see you on Disney Plus probably next year, I'm guessing, after the show does its second season initial run.
Sounds right.
Next up, Kyle Larson for Star Wars Newsnet had a chance to interview Charles Soule. You guys may know him as the comic writer for Vader. He's doing some Kylo Ren stuff coming up as well. He had a chance to interview him at Rose City Comic Con. So simply just go to StarWarsNewsNet.com and look up Kyle's interview with Charles Soule. He gave him about 25 minutes, so I can't run that down. But honestly, go check it out. He dives into what he's allowed to do, how far he swings for the fences, and what Story Group pushes back on. It's a very interesting interview, so go check it out, especially if you dig Charles Soule's writings in a galaxy far, far away. So that is it for the Scoundrels Rundown this week. Now, we're going to send it over to Lacey so we can rifle through your questions and give you, hopefully, the best answers we can in Ask the Resistance. So, Chewbacca, when you're not on fire, get us out of here.
All right, guys, it's time for Ask the Resistance. You've got Star Wars questions. As John said, hopefully we have some pretty good Star Wars answers.
I'm sorry, I took your line.
It's okay. It's all right.
I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
All right, so first question comes from Ryan Simmy at RyanScott00. And he asks, my kids want to know, hello kids, Simon, 8 years old, wants to know, how is the Emperor going to come back? And Chloe, which is such a beautiful name, 9 years old, wants to know, since Rey is using Anakin's lightsaber, will she build her own? So ladies first. First of all, Simon, hi.
Is it Simeon?
I feel like it's Simon. No? I feel like I'm messing this kid's name up. I am so sorry. Simon, Simeon, I'm sorry. That being said, how is the Emperor going to come back? That is an excellent question that I don't properly have an answer to right now.
Oh, good.
And the reason I say that is because over the past few months, we've talked Shivi babes a lot. And every time I end up laughing going, I don't know what they're going to do. I think that John made a good theory about him being a part of the Vader helmet and whether it be possession or energy or something. And I like that idea. And I like that he was probably talking to Kylo Ren. I don't know how that's going to come about, whether it be an actual person or a Force ghost or something. But I guess we'll get a better idea maybe in the next trailer. Do you think they'll spoil something like that where they'll like at least show him maybe? But I'm sorry, I don't really have an answer. I'd love to know your answer though, what you think. So please let me know. So Chloe, you said Rey using Anakin's lightsaber, will she build her own? I think in a way she did kind of build her own because she fixed Anakin's saber as we see in the new trailers. So I think she has made it her own. I'm unsure of how she fixed it, but I'm sure they'll address it in the movie somehow, whether they make a comment. Duct tape, space tape. Yeah. I'm sure they'll address it somehow, whether she makes this offside comment or something, but I think the legacy that goes with that lightsaber is so important that the only person that deserves to wield it is Rey, and that's why she makes it her own. Why are you laughing?
Because I know how John feels about it, and so I looked at him when you said that, and he's like staring at the screen like, oh, the legacy of this? Yeah.
Legacy is in the sense it's passed through many hands, not that it's alive.
We have to go by how they're building that thing up, so that's the deal now.
Right. Guys, thank you so much for your questions. Thanks for listening. Next is jgraham_gaskill at gaskill J Graham. Quite the name. They asked, do you think Dark Rey is a vision and not a clone, as some theorize, parentheses, and if so, could it actually be Kylo's vision? James, what do you think?
So here's the thing, is that it says, do you think Dark Rey could actually be like a vision and not a clone, which is what everybody's talking about. And I actually think it's the exact opposite of that. Like, I think a better question is, do you think it could be a clone, or do you think it's just a vision, which is what everybody's theorizing? Like, I feel like it's the opposite. I don't know if that is if that's in your circle of friends. Everybody's saying it's a clone, it's a clone. And you're like, I don't know, I was kind of thinking maybe it's like a vision or something. But I feel like everybody is harping down that it's a vision. And I'm the one person out there that's still defending, I'd be okay with the clone thing. I would think I'd be all right with that. That is, and I said this a while ago, that if we had one random like wild theory that we'd be okay with, that would be mine.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think people brush too lightly over the clone thing. Like it weakens Rey's character, and I think it would strengthen Rey's character. So
that would be
I don't
nuts.
think they're doing that.
If another Rey walks out. Whew.
Yes. So I do think that it is most likely a vision. So I'm kind of agreeing with you there. And could it be Kylo's vision? Yes, I do think that. The reason I think that is because we already saw Rey go through her trial of the vision, if you will, whatever we want to call that.
The mirror cave?
Force vision. Yes, that was her going in and trying to encounter her demons. And so I don't think they're going to do it again. The only other way that it would be is if it was like Palpatine Mysterio, like doing something to her. And I'm like, I just don't think they're going to do that. I think more likely we're going to get some closure on what does it really mean to be dark side. And if he continues down this path, like he could turn Rey or something, and maybe that, I don't know, does something. But yeah, I think it's most likely a vision, which is, in my opinion, kind of lame, but it's straightforward.
Nice. Next up is Neil Marriott at Kidda1708. And he asks, do you think we'll see V. Muradi from Black Spire in the Rise of Skywalker at Delilah S. Dawson's book is fantastic, not finished yet, has been well received by fans, so a cameo could surely be pulled off, maybe timed during reshoots. John, you're our reshoot guy.
What?
Kinda. I feel like you're the one that's always...
What is that?
I feel like you're the one that's always like, reshoots aren't a bad thing. Like, that's always you.
I feel like that's every fan, though. You guys say that too. You know?
Do I?
Yeah. Do you think reshoots
It
are
was
a bad
meant
thing?
as a compliment of like you knowing everything. It was a compliment.
I'm so embarrassed.
Vimerati.
What
do you got, John?
Vimerati will not be in the Rise of Skywalker, unfortunately. And I think that goes with a lot of not only Galaxy's Edge stuff, but a lot of non on the movie highway people. There's just a lot for J.J. Abrams to do in this movie, which even if, and I think it possibly could be in the closer to 3-hour range, we already see new characters he's introducing with Zori Bliss and Jana, General Pride, as
Claude.
like they call him, General Smiley, Claude, and then bringing back Ryan's characters as best as he can, probably just a little bit though with the Rose and stuff. For him to just be like, all right, now we're gonna bring in Vi Marati and these people for a little come to the theme park. Hey, I don't think they're gonna do that. I think Galaxy's Edge is kind of its thing. I think they like making these books to canonize it and make it important to Star Wars to be like, all right, I got to go to this. This is the thing. Like, this is legit. This isn't just to ride a roller coaster type of thing. And I get that. I do. And I'm not trying to downplay it, but I personally do not think we're going to see these types of characters in episode 9. And if you do, it'll be like they just walked by in a cafe or something. Like, they're not going to be a part of the story. So I do not think you're going to see Vi Marati. And I would not be shocked if J.J. Abrams, if you went up to him and said, how do you feel about the character Vi Marati? He'd be like, I have no idea who that is. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Mike Lovins at Mike Lovins.
Where do you get your handle, Mike?
He asks, if you have already answered this, I apologize. There's no wrong questions, Mike. But I was wondering, if we get a Crimson Dawn show on Disney Plus, would you consider the Make Solo 2 Happen campaign a success? John, as the creator of Make Solo 2 Happen, would you consider it a success?
No, I wouldn't. I would love it. I think it'd be great and a step in the right direction and hope for the future of us follow up to Solo. But to me personally, Make Solo 2 Happen is the continued adventures of Han and Chewie and everyone else around them. So that's for me. Make Solo 2 Happen can mean a lot of things to other people. But to me, Crimson Dawn Mall series is a spin-off of Solo, not a follow-up like sequel to Solo. So that's just my take. What about you guys?
Right. James?
Yeah, I think from the beginning we've tried to be clear that, like, you know, there's been some people that are like, make Solo 2, I don't want that. How about an Memphis Nest show or whatever? And we're like, that's part of it. So from my perspective, I would consider it a success because I want to see where that story, even if it doesn't involve Han, takes off. I want to see Kira. I want to see Crimson Dawn. I want to see the underworld and all that stuff. So I think that in my head, spinoff counts. If the show is based around something that happened in Solo and we're going to continue that in a live action format, that's Solo 2 to me. That's the continuation of Solo's story. Lacey, tiebreaker.
It's funny. I actually agree with both of you. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel both.
Sure. Yeah.
I agree that.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with John as well.
Yeah. I'm like straddling that line in 2 states. Like, I'm in 2 places at the same time. So
I call that superposition in quantum physics.
So I feel like if a Crimson Dawn show happened, I would love it. And I feel like it is in some way part of the campaign. But I think you have to start with step 1. And step 1 is the reason we wanted this campaign to kick off and celebrate it is because of Han Solo and Chewie didn't get to explain their full journey. They didn't get to go on the adventures that the movie sets up. And the creators like John Kasdan and Ron Howard and other people have more stories to tell related to Han Solo. So I think that, yes, I would love a Darth Maul show for Ray Park. I would love a Kira show or an Enfys Nest show. But I think you need to extend the story of Han and Chewie to get to those other stories. Because I think that the way the movie was left, you can't just forget that they were going somewhere. And it would throw me off a little bit.
It ends with them.
Yeah, I'm kind of like in the middle, like, yes, kind of, yes, both.
Right.
That's a great question, though.
If they made like a Maul series, right, with like 8 episodes, and he's doing the Crimson Dawn thing, like, I'm not gonna like all of a sudden be like, well, hashtag Make Solo 2 happens over now. Like, no, like so. That's why to me, that's how I answer that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that at least that they could do the Maul, Crimson Dawn, Kira stuff and it just not involve Han and Chewie, because Han and Chewie could be still its own story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're off doing all this other crazy stuff, meeting new people. They're running into Boba Fett and stuff. And it's like, I get it. Like, we took a right turn, but like, let's get back on we took the exit. Let's get back on the highway kind of thing. I know what John's saying.
Yeah. And the other thing too is like Enfys Nest, I could see having her own show that has no tie to Han Solo, but Kira and Darth Maul have direct ties to Han Solo because he put Kira in the position that she's in at the end of the movie. And then he's the reason she's going to Dathomir. So like, you can't cut Solo out because he made it seem like he was like, well, I'm going to figure this out then. We need to figure this out of what happened. Like, how is
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or he's just kind of like that scars him from like how he handles relationships, and he moves on from that and never gets to rectify it. And then Leia's the one who makes him like trust being with someone again.
I think she's talking about Darth Maul.
Well, yes, but you're saying Solo's involved because of it was like
Kira
butterfly
directly.
Butterfly effect, and how her story, like, they split up, and then he was trying to find her, and she got swept up by Crimson Dawn. Like, the reason she's with Crimson Dawn is because her and Han were trying to escape Corellia.
Like their stories are so tied together, like it's kind of hard to tell one story without the other.
Yeah, and it's possible.
I don't know, man. I could totally see that was the last time they ever saw each other.
I do too. I could see it both ways.
Yeah.
I could definitely see it both ways, and also, it wouldn't make sense for Han to encounter Darth Maul because he's never seen people use the Force in A New Hope up to that point. But
sure.
My last thing on this, it's possible like they're hitting the brakes on Han and Chewie for now, and like seeing, maybe they'll test the waters with an Enfys Nest to see like if people like gain traction with that for the show, and they're like, well, people like that, then let's revisit Han and Chewie, like it, because we're getting our fan service with Kenobi, we're getting our fan service that way. Maybe like the next stuff will be like the newer people and that sort of thing, and then they'll bring back Han and Chewie.
They got to make a decision though, because Alden can't start looking older than Harrison in A New Hope.
It has to be in the next like 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
And
I
mean, I don't want to like brag, but you can't ignore Make Solo 2 Happen Day. That thing went on for like 2 weeks. So
and we got, there's more coming, I think. We got the giveaway, and we got more coming. And also, how else are you going to use Chewbacca? But I could beat this.
I'm just saying that like Disney and Lucasfilm know about it. They're aware of it. So there's no way that they can say, oh, well, people don't want this, because it's clear that people do.
Right.
It was everywhere for legit 2 weeks, and it's still on.
Fans saved the Clone Wars, so.
That's what I keep going to when people ask me about it. I'm like, the Clone Wars came back, so. But I agree with you, James. Like, they got to make a move, because Alden...
I think he's like 28 or 29 now.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, last question comes from Neel at Lowry Neel, who's one of our generals. Hi, Neel. How's it going?
What's up, Neel?
Hello.
He asks, do you think Darth Vader did Emperor impressions in his meditation chamber when bored? So real quick.
No.
I think he's too serious, too moody to do impressions.
Sure. Yeah. I
It's
think
like a
he
respect thing.
Yeah, I think he would curse him at times or something, but he wouldn't do his voice.
I could see Kylo doing it because he's childish, but I can't see Vader doing that.
No. The reason is because they're constantly being watched. They're never private.
And also, I mean, I want to give like the fun answer, obviously, but not like the what Darth Vader would do. But maybe for Neil's next pod race, we put him on the spot and have him do Vader doing a Palpatine impression.
There you go.
I'm just kidding, Neil. If you don't want to do that, don't worry about it.
Guys, thank you so much for your questions. If you want to be on the show, make sure to follow us on Twitter at RBATSWNN and tweet us your questions either directly at us or with the hashtag AskTheResistance. Any Star Wars question you want, and you might make it on the show. Back to you, John.
Guys, thank you so much for watching, listening, however you take in TRB. We appreciate it. If you have been spreading the word, thank you so much. If you haven't yet, just share a link with a friend or family member who loves Star Wars, especially these next 3 months. There's so much coming out. You get to bond over the Rise of Skywalker, the Mandalorian, the Disney Plus stuff coming down the pike. Join TRB with friends. It's like James said, it's more fun to watch and listen to podcasts when you have other people to talk about the podcast with. So spread the word. We appreciate that. Make sure you are subscribing, and that's go to resistancebroadcast.com, find all the spots where you can listen or watch us, and that is our page on StarWarsNewsNet.com, which you should be going to anyway every day for your latest news, reviews, editorials, information, and more, and interviews like we just showed you
And
before.
exclusives.
And exclusives, yes. Once in a while, we put the barrel on the ball and knock a couple out for you guys. So thank you for
phrase is
supporting
that?
us there. Yeah,
I don't know.
It's baseball. You guys wouldn't understand.
Okay,
Make sure you guys check out our Patreon page. That is patreon.com/Resistance Broadcast. We have hit our 4th tier, which means we are doing an audio and video commentary of The Force Awakens. So we hope you can join us by watching and listening along with us there. And how you can do that? Sign up. Check out our 5 tiers, starting at $2 a month for page access. Find out which tier fits you. Sign up. Join the Resistance. We appreciate the support, and we know you guys will love all the pretty much daily content we're putting up there every day, right, guys? I mean, it's active. I saw something like we have like 400 unique posts on Patreon. Like it's no joke, and Lacey facilitates that for us. So thank you, Lacey. But guys, check it out. And big special thank you to our generals. We're looking at Mello, with his food pictures killing me. Brian Shalito, Andrew Staley, Neil Lowry with the funny question just now. Jeremy Myers, who you're going to see on Thursday's pod race. So I'm looking forward to that, Jeremy. Neil Shah, David Probus, our new general, John Reese, and Val Trichkoff. Thank you so much for all of your support. It means a great deal to us. Guys, you can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey and at Star Wars News Net. James, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Meyer Trunks. And I want to give a quick shout out to my son, who is 2 years old today.
Today?
Yay!
Happy birthday, Bennett.
Happy birthday, Bennett. Does he watch TRB yet?
Love you, bud. Yeah, what?
Does he watch TRB?
No. Well, every time I'm editing the show, he looks at the computer and he's like, "It's Daddy."
Nice.
It's Daddy. Sees me on the computer, you know what I mean? So it brings the basket on the floor. That's a basketball reference.
You're the worst of all time. Happy birthday, Bennett. And may the force be with you, buddy, even though you probably don't watch this. Lacey?
People can find me on Twitter at Lacey Giller, and I'm also on Instagram, where I'm being the fan of everything.
Yes. Yeah. I feel bad for people. Like they're starting to follow me on Instagram now, and it's not Star Wars. It's like me taking a picture of my lawn after I cut it. So,
It really is.
it's like you don't have to follow me on Instagram. You're not missing anything, I swear. All right,
Look
guys.
at those shrubs.
Take a look at my house. Put the flag out there. All right, guys, we'll be back on Thursday where we're going to talk about, is it inevitable that there will be controversy around the Rise of Skywalker? And we're kind of just going to kick the door open and have an open discussion about that and play a little One with the Force again, because we heard you guys like that this past Thursday. So enjoy your weeks, and we'll see you on Thursday morning, as always, right here on the Resistance Broadcast. And we'll see you around, kids.
Bye.